Hey, good evening, everybody. How's it going? Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of Dialogues with Doc. I am your host, Dr. Calvin Green, and I don't have any breath right now. Give me a second. I am so glad to be back with you guys tonight to kick off season 2 of Dialogues with Doc. This is such an amazing platform that I have been blessed to be the curator of, and I'm so excited that each and every week we do this and we bring on awesome and amazing guests to just share out a lot of great content about what it is that they do, about the services that they provide, and we tackle different topics, and we have one-on-one conversations, and we have panel discussions. And so tonight I'm so excited because I've been gone for a while. I've missed you guys. I think the last show I did was in April, so I took some time off to be even more creative, which is kind of the backstory of tonight's show, creators who work behind the scenes. So I need to have a moment or some moments just to relax, to think, to meditate, to reflect, to come back with even more fire and more zeal and more awesome and amazing content and topics for you. So I have missed you guys for the last month. I'm so excited to be back with you guys again to kick off season 2 of Dialogues with Doc. So tonight, we're going to keep this thing going like we always do. If you've been watching and rocking with me since the beginning of August, you already know what the housekeeping rules are. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Like, comment, subscribe, and share. Those are the house rules. Very simple. It's that simple. I love you guys. Thank you for watching and rocking with me, whether you're watching on Facebook Live or whether you're watching on the YouTube channel. If you are watching on the YouTube channel, please make sure you click that subscribe button so that you will be alerted whenever we decide to go live and share this content every Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, 6 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, and 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So listen, I'm so excited about tonight's show, but I want to know if you're watching, where you guys are watching from. I would love to shout you out, say, hey, how you doing? I missed you guys. Thank you for where you're watching from. Of course, I'm going to hold it down for the whole D, M, and V, the whole DC, Maryland, and Virginia area. I'm going to hold it down for everybody that's watching from that area. And also, while I was away, don't forget, I did launch a podcast before I took my little month hiatus to be more creative and get these downloads. So the Dialogues with Doc podcast is just a small snippet of what we do each and every week. And that podcast is available on Anchor and on Spotify. Also, if you want to go back and watch any of the old shows are all on the YouTube channel and they're all in chronological order. So if you want to watch from the very beginning, that's there. If you want to watch last month, that's there. But all the amazing shows, contents, and guests that I've had on the show thus far are all there. So listen, also, I started something before we left, just to put things in the atmosphere. Tonight's show is sponsored by me. Tonight's show is sponsored by me. Again, tonight's show is sponsored by me. And the more I say it and the more I repeat it, the more my words have power and have actions behind them. So one day I'm going to say this show is sponsored by somebody else. But tonight it's sponsored by me yet again. And I don't mind. It's my brand. It's my baby. I will always have its back and its back will always have me. Also, got a couple of announcements because I'm in the field. Happy Teacher Appreciation Week. Thank you guys for all that you do. Thank you guys for all that you have continued to do in the midst of COVID, in the midst of virtual learning, or if you're in school like mine, it's called hybrid learning. I'm just ready for the fall so everybody can come back to learning. So thank you to all our educators and people that work in the buildings. Also, it's Cinco de Mayo. Happy Cinco de Mayo if you're watching. I don't have my mariachis, but I do have my Cinco bottles of water for Cinco de Mayo. So we're on a healthy lifestyle kick right now where I am. So I'm drinking Cinco de water in my silver cup de Mayo. So that's what I'm doing on tonight. So listen, everybody, I am just so excited about tonight's show and tonight's panelists. I don't know, but my mind is always working and thinking behind the scenes. Hey, cousin, I see you. My cousin will always come through. I appreciate you, cousin. Hold it down for the DFW area for me. I love you. Oh, cousin, I'll be home this weekend to check on my mama, and maybe we can go to Taco Diner or something while I'm there. I'm always in the creative bag of what happens behind the scenes. And I'm about to date myself, but I don't mind. I don't know how many of you guys remember when CDs were popular. I worked at Camelot Music in Redbird Mall, now Southwest Center Mall, Dallas, Texas, Oak Cliff Stand Up. So working in Camelot Music, I worked in the music store, and I was always intrigued by music and who wrote what. So I'm about to date myself because I don't know who remembers the liner notes that used to come in the CDs that tells you who wrote what song, who sung this hook, who sung that hook, who wrote the song, who the composers were, all that kind of stuff. But most of y'all probably were just concerned about the lyrics, so you can make sure you had said the right lyrics when they call your phone. You said, "Hey, this is Calvin. Leave a message." Da, da, da. You were concerned about the lyrics. I was concerned about the other stuff. So the stuff that happens behind the scenes is so intriguing to me. In the music realm, in just the natural realm, and even in just the entertainment realm. So I said, hey, Green, let's do a show about creatives. This is what these people are who work behind the scenes. There are so many different creatives that I'm attached to that I said, you know what, I want to just bring some of them on the show so we can just jump into the conversation and discuss kind of what they do, how they do it, how did they get here? Not that because nobody's supposed to be here. They are where they are supposed to be, in their vein, doing their thing. And I just wanted to just have a real dialogue and just dissect this thing a little bit more, just to help me get even more understanding on what I don't already know, about what you probably already know. And of course, you know how Dialogues with Doc goes. If I don't know the answer, I'm pretty much connected to somebody who actually does have the answer or knows the answer. So these are my special guests on tonight as we kick off season 2 of this thing of Dialogues with Doc. Season 1 was great. I want to continue to go higher, have more greater conversations, and more awesome and amazing guests on joining me each and every week. Again, if you're just jumping in and you're watching, let me know where you're watching from. I want to shout you out before I bring my guests on, just out of courtesy, because once I get into the conversation, we're going to just flow like we always do and make it happen. But I want to say, hey, Mama, how you doing? Hey, Ray and Pookie and all them. So remember, the house rules are simple. Like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. As we're in the conversation and the dialogue as we get tonight's show going. So you guys know how this thing goes. You guys know whenever I have a guest on Dialogues with Doc, it's only one way for me to bring them on. So, you know, season 2, nothing has changed. Same rules apply as they did season 1. So I'm going to bring my guests on the right way. Hold. What's going on, my people?
What's going on?
Hey, Leslie, what's going on? Adrian, how are you, man? Hold on, let me fix this screen. I'm a one-man show tonight. Hold on for me. Okay, we're gonna go this route. Right.
All right.
How's everybody doing?
Cool. I'm great. How are you?
What's going on?
I'm good. I'm so glad to see you. Oh, there we go. Now we rock. Okay. We good now. So listen. I'm so honored to have both of you on tonight's show. I don't take it robbery because you guys could be doing some other amazing things as well with these busy schedules. But thank you all for joining me on tonight. I do want to put something out there really quickly. Justin, who is J Chin, I'm praying for you, brother. Justin was supposed to be a guest on tonight. His aunt passed recently, so Justin's not able to join us. So I did tell Justin, don't worry about this show. I will have a part 2 and bring you on. And Brian and Felipe, I love you guys as well. When duty calls and you trying to get to where the money reside and your client is late, you got to do what you got to do. So I appreciate you guys as well for letting me know in advance. I can't make it, but I want to make sure that I do bring you guys on in the future. So I do have the amazing Leslie Neely and the amazing Adrian Atako. Am I saying that right? Atako with me.
It's like I want to tackle them.
I want to tag. Okay, gotcha. Listen, I'm so honored to be connected to both of you. We go way back. We just go way back, and it's just a privilege to have both of you on tonight joining me. We talk about creatives who work behind the scenes. This is an awesome and amazing topic, and I want to just thank you guys for joining me to kick off season 2 with this, because no one really understands but those of us that are in that brainchild of behind the scenes. Okay, so I want to
Thank
start
you for
off by
having me.
asking. No, thank you guys for joining me. So because we are in the midst of COVID, I got to ask this question first. How have you both been maneuvering in this pandemic? Before we get into the meat of tonight's show, just how have you both been maneuvering in the midst of this thing?
Well, I'll let ladies start first.
Well, thank you, kind sir. If I can be honest, like completely honest, this has been the greatest period of my life
I
so
love it.
far. I have enjoyed the period of rest. Those who have been following me and who have seen me know that I've recently decided to take control of my health, and I've lost
Yes,
130 pounds as of
I love
today
it. Yes,
during the pandemic with the help of a great surgeon. I'm not
I
shy
love
about
it.
that.
I know that's
Um,
right.
but at 48 and needing to still live, and you may hear my granddaughter, my youngest one, in the background every now and then. It's like the greatest time of my life. As a creative, I've worked more during the pandemic, behind the scenes as well as in front of the camera. The coin
Love
has been mighty. I'm grateful
it.
to God for that.
I
But
love it.
most of all, I've enjoyed the time of reset and rest. I've rebranded. Like, this is not my
I love it.
initial logo. I've had time to redo this
Nope.
and to get into the virtual space as much as my post millennial self can. It's been amazing. I don't want it to go back to like it was before. I want to venture into something different.
And it's crazy you say that because before Adrian jumps in, this pandemic has given us what we say we never have enough of, which is time. So this has given us more than enough time to reflect, to reset, to recalibrate, for me go back and pick up something that I may have put off before. So I just love how you said it's giving me time to focus more on me and enjoy life even more because as we get older, we oftentimes don't get a chance to experience life and enjoy it even more. And we need that time now to just do those type of things. So thank you for sharing that. And I'm so proud of you.
Yes.
I've been watching your journey.
Thank you.
Yes,
Adrian, jump in
congratulations
here,
to
man.
you. So, first, I want to say Happy Teachers Week to you and all
Thank
the teachers
you.
out there that may be watching. And thank you for having me on tonight.
Thank you.
For me, the pandemic has been a blessing, but there have been moments of quietness and, darkness. Not so much darkness, but where I felt like, will this end or will there be an end to it? For me, I am one that I like to move and groove and be out and about and not always in the scene, but I can't sit in the house. So, there was a moment where I would wake up and I would go from the living room from my bedroom to the living room, from my bedroom to the living room. And it broke me down. It really did because, as creatives, we like to do things and we like to keep movement and we like to, work with whatever it is that we're using. And for me, it's my hands and I'm a people's person and I need people around me. And being in isolation is hard. But I thank God for knowing God or having a higher power because in that whole moment or during that whole time, I was able to, build a better relationship with him and understand more so who I am as a person and what I would allow in and out of my life. So, it had its ups and its downs. But now, as far as the coin goes, the coin was coming on in. Thank God for the coin.
We thank God for the coin ministry in a pandemic.
I must say this in all seriousness, there was never any lack for food. There was never any lack for wondering when my bills were going to get paid. Cell phone wasn't off. Rent was paid on time, never late. So, things like that we take for granted. And I was just appreciative that I didn't have to fall in that situation of wondering when the next is coming,
Love it.
and having great support of my family and great support of my friends definitely helped. So
I love it. I love it. So I have two prominent individuals who work behind the scenes who you just heard are thriving in a pandemic, and they're creative. So it can be done. You are looking at living proof that it can be done. So just for those who don't know about Leslie or about Adrian, and I'll let Adrian start since Leslie started. Tell us a little bit more about you and what you actually do behind the scenes.
So most of you may know me as London.
And I'm trying to say Adrian every time.
No,
I want to say London so bad.
You can say London. So my government name, just to give the whole spill of it, is Adrian Attacco. But I go by London Jewels, who is a brand. I am a makeup artist. I've been doing makeup for, going on 20 years now. And I work with the great likes of the Layla Hathaway, who is a 5-time Grammy Award winner, Judge Maybelline, Ephraim, who is amazing as well in her own right. I just recently got to work with the wonderful legend, MC Light, on this project, new sitcom that she has coming out, which is called Partners in Rhyme. You can look for that on the All Black network. There is an All Black network. It's not BET. It is called the All Black Network. So make sure you look that up. Definitely, let's support one another. I've been on this whole trip about I'm supporting everybody Black. So I've been doing a whole bunch of shopping that I haven't supposed to been doing, but it's for a good cause because everybody I've been buying, with the exception of one thing, has been Black. So, let's support one another. But yes, I work in the field of makeup, and I also do branding as well. Branding in the sense of just the whole package. I started out as a wardrobe stylist and wanting to be a fashion designer when I was younger. So my major was fashion marketing, and I would sketch and sew. And in high school, I would make people pocketbooks and things of that nature. And then I've just always been a people's person. My mom says it all the time. Everybody loves Adrian, but that's just my energy. I love people. I love positive people, of course. And I just love being in the midst of people with great energy. So I found out that my love for the artistry was stronger in working so close to people in makeup than it was just styling, because styling, although you work close with that, it just wasn't giving me what I needed, and that element of working with women and men doing male grooming and just seeing their whole attitude change from beginning to end is what gets me going. It's just, there's no feeling of a person like a client telling me, boy, I didn't want to take my makeup off yesterday. I wanted to sleep in it. And some of them do. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but it just makes you feel good, because it's like, wow, like it was that great,
It's amazing how a fresh beat and a fresh cut will change your whole.
But you know what? So even with the cuts, I'd like to get my hair cut a day before I know that something is happening, because I need to settle in. So even with makeup, like it's like wine. The longer it's on, the better it looks. The better it's able to sit in the skin. It shouldn't sit on the skin, like a mask, but it should sit in the skin. And that's a lot of that's
I'm about to go wash my face.
Now, what I will say is that I am not a esthetician. Like, as far as it comes with like skin regimen, people ask me, "Well, what do you do with your skin?" I just soap and water. Like, I'm very basic. I don't have all the extra bells and whistles, and I don't have time for all that.
Hey man, 20 years? I had no idea it was that long.
Well, I'm still only 21, but
right. It's funny. You're joking, but I said I'm gonna stay 40 because I didn't get to use last year, so I'm still claiming 40. I didn't get to use, so I owe it to myself. Leslie, jump in here. Tell us about Leslie and I Breathe Melody.
I'm not worthy of this.
Oh, please!
I'm not playing.
I had no idea Oh my gosh. Okay. No, no, like seriously. Yeah. Thank you, big God. Okay. So I'm starstruck when it comes to Layla Hathaway. Like she's my favorite
She's that's my
everything.
muse. Like,
She's everything. So about me and what I do behind the scenes, I primarily, or one of my primary streams is a professional background vocalist. My longtime boss, Jonathan Nelson, featuring Purpose and part of the Fearless
oh
crew. I've been with
yes.
him almost 20 years. But I've also worked in an administrative capacity with him as well, doing live recordings. And one of the first things that I've ever seen done in that arena is be a liaison between the artists and
Mhm.
the the singers. So
Mhm.
when I saw where his trajectory was going and the distance it was kind of putting between the singers, I knew somebody needed to be in there to kind of filter information to make sure
Mhm.
everybody was on track. So that has turned
I need
into
to
a
talk to
job for
you.
me. You should, yes. That has
Look,
turned into a job for me, you know. So I like to do that in other spaces, as well as I started my own company, I Breathe Melody, because I was not selected for an audition process. And it just had me look at all the things that are missing
Mhm.
in the connection for the singer to getting the work done. So
Right.
that's what my company does. It has evolved into professional development. So I have a small mentoring community of not just background vocalists, but vocal producers, artists, songwriters. I even now, Calvin has a few other entrepreneurs who are gifted with their hands and have products and services and things like that, and just mentoring them from the beginning just to get them to
Yes, the
their
choir
next.
whisperer.
choir whisperer.
The choir
Yes, that's
whisperer.
one of my former choir members. Love you, mean it. Like, and choirs are my thing. I grew up in church, had a choir under
Same
Wow.
my
here.
tutelage for like 16 years. So just that whole choir passage from not just the vocal, but just how we live and exist with each other. That's my thing. So,
Mhm.
you know, I'm admin. I have a mainstream HR 20-year career. I'm a logistics manager for the military. Like, so anything
Yeah,
administrative, I kind of like
you got it.
try to get my hands in and just do. And it's just amazing. And it's moving toward being my full-time profession.
I love
Awesome.
it. I
That's
love it.
awesome.
Yeah.
It's funny how we're equipped and prepared behind the scenes and have no idea this is this is what I'm supposed to be doing or what I've been called to do. And I always
Yeah.
tell
Right.
my students, assignments have end dates, callings don't. So your assignment is due on this day, but your calling doesn't have an end date or an expiration date. So it's just great to have you both on tonight who are creatives doing their
Thank you.
things behind the scenes in multiple areas. I thought it was this one lane, and Leslie got three over here. And
Look,
Adrian had thought it
I
was
need.
one, and he got five over here. You should know, it's just crazy how you tap into your creative mindset, and I'm focused on one thing, and God opens up five more doors. You're like, God, I didn't even
That's
think
how
that
he
far.
works.
I was focused here. So listen, this creative thing, being a creative has multiple definitions. What would your definition be? We talk about being a creative behind the scenes. Just I can give you the textbook definition, but what's your definition of being a creative? I don't know who wants to jump in here, but either
Go
one
ahead,
of you can
Leslie.
jump in.
Well, for me, being a creative is being a problem solver. One of
Hmm.
my business mentors told me that you go into business to solve a problem. And yes, I know how to sing. Yes, I know how to administrate, but being a problem solver means you have a heart for solutions. I'm
Mhm.
solutions oriented. That's who I am as a creative. So I think creatives are solution oriented people, and it can come out in various ways: musicianship, being a vocalist, being a makeup artist, being a stylist. Like I actually follow the discipline of the fashion world and kind of model my work ethic off of what the fashion world does, because it's so regimented, it's so strict. But that to me is not just having ideas, but it's solving problems.
And for me, being a creative is allowing yourself to be in tune and be free with what it is that you want to accomplish. A lot of times we box our own selves into things, and we put a cap on ourselves, and just allowing yourself to let things flow. However the masterpiece comes out is the way that it's supposed to be. Sometimes we try to be in control of every single thing, and you can't. You just have to. You have to allow. Look, I was one too, but I've learned, like, in order for my creative juices to flow, you just gotta let it flow. Even with a situation where doing makeup is all about compromising with your client, and meeting them halfway, because there may be some things that they may request, or there may be some things that it's not necessarily wrong, but they may have been taught or serviced in a way that is, well, yes, it's not right. It's incorrect. And when you have many years of being serviced incorrectly, it's hard to deprogram and allow you to get it right. So there may be situations where you may feel, I'm not used to my brows being so thick, or I'm not used to this type of, and it's like, well, let me show you not only something new and different, but let me show you the right way. Because a lot of times we are taught the wrong way. Everybody that's in business, in a creative business, whether it be admin, whether it be makeup artists, does not mean that they are doing it for the love. See, I do it because it makes this beat every day. That's not everybody's situation. Some people do it for the money. Mm-hmm. Now, I happen to get the money. The money comes along because, of the work ethic that I have, and me establishing that I know how to do what I need to do. But sometimes it's the reverse. People get into business for the coin, and they're not always giving the correct advice or giving the correct service, or the like she said, problem solving. They're not solving the problem. They're just making it worse.
They're making more problems. Biggest hit, more money, more problems.
So when somebody like myself, or somebody like Leslie, who knows the business, who has been in the business, for X amount of years, comes in, and then not only do we have to clean up your mess that you did, but we got to get you back to where you're at now, and at a fast pace. So
quickly. This is wrong. I'm trying to help you. You won't let me help you.
Time is money, and if she takes her time to now rework and do all the things that she already had planned for this person, it's going to take even longer time. So I need you to move. I need you to come on, get with it. And in the process, I really don't need you to ask me any questions. Why? Trust me, you hired me for a reason.
Now I was gonna go there. I was gonna wait there, but since you went there, this trust thing, you have a client, as a creative behind the scenes, this is something that you're working from day one to build with someone, is their trust. For them to just relinquish all trust to you. So how challenging is that for you, when I'm just trying to get you to trust me and you won't trust me? So you're making this relationship that we have work-wise very combative, and it shouldn't be.
For me, in certain situations, it has been very difficult, because again, I never want to come off combative in any way, but I want to come off right, and I'm going to come off right. And then I don't think it helps that I'm a Leo, so I always feel that it's my way or the highway. But what I will say is, I've learned in this business that even if I feel that it's my way, you still have to allow some room and space to acknowledge, again, that this may be all that the client is used to. This may be all that they have been shown. So they don't know any better. It's almost like, a child. If a child is used to doing a certain thing a certain way all the time, and you try to you have to retrain them. So I've learned not to argue or be combative with my client. That's a big no-no, number one. There's ways to get around it. There's ways that you can suggest things. It's all about dialogue and how we
open dialogue.
Take the approach. Yeah. the words are very powerful, as we all know. We heard it in the church, the power of life and death is in the tongue and all that.
Sure is.
But it's true, even down to how you say things to a person. If you say things, sweet, you can get a sweet response. But if the energy and the response is negative and just so nasty, guess what you want to get back? Nastiness.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll hush and let Leslie jump in.
I've had to learn compassion with gaining trust.
Okay.
And even if the trust is not gained, what will be achieved is respect.
I love it.
To continue
Say that.
working. So I've learned to be an active listener. Sometimes I participate as a listener, but I've learned to listen because a lot of times, I'm one of those kind of people that grew up. As soon as you say something, I say it right back because I want to jump in. I want you to hear what I'm saying. I've learned how to listen. I take a couple beats. That means I'm thinking. And then I select the words that I'm going to say to respond because the goal is to get you to where I need you to be. So never argumentative, never combative. If I get there, then we've all lost. So and like London said, like I try to bring the energy where I need it to be. I can't match energy like this. I have to, let that calm. And honestly, years of doing benefits work through HR has taught me if a customer's on the phone and they're irate, okay, so if you get too irate, this is what we're going to do. We're going to end this call. And when you can do this better, I'll come back. That kind of thing. But it's the compassion and the care, because if you've hired me, really, I've said yes because I care about what you're doing. Oh yeah. If I can't buy into you, I don't just really like to work for money. Sometimes I do.
And
but
and not to cut you off, Leslie, but while I still remember, also a great thing is it just went out of my head. Just when I was trying to get it, how I was like,
it'll come back. It'll come back.
It's gonna come back. I like how what you said, and then Leslie tied the back end of with compassion to it, because I find myself supervising my speech more now as a creative, because before go ahead. Jump in.
Not being a yes person is also very important, because in the industry, period. In your industry, in the church industry, in entertainment industry, in the industry period, we have a lot of yes.
Yep.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, yes. Oh, that boy right here, me, he is not one of them.
I sell a T-shirt that says no.
Yeah.
No is a powerful sentence that people don't use regularly.
No, they don't.
So there's so much power in two letters, no. And when you're able to just it diffuses what could possibly we're not.
And it's nothing
doing it. It's not personal.
It's nothing personal. But a lot of times we feel that it is, and it's not. It's just business. No, I can't do it.
And it helps your
you don't have the budget.
It helps your brand as well, because there are people who hire me because they know that I'm going to say probably the opposite of whatever they say. Yeah. I'm going, if they ask me a question or if they give me an opinion, I'm probably going to say, yeah, well, let's look at this. Or how does that serve you? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because you're hiring me to produce a service. I want to make sure I'm giving you my best. So sometimes my no is like me giving you my best of like, no, this ain't the answer to nobody's question. This is what it is. Look, I want to go here. How important is what actually happens behind the scenes? This was the question that maybe even when I had this show tonight. When we're working in the industry, we focus so much on talent or so much on the artist, but it's the people like us who work behind the scenes that make it happen. yeah, that person's on the stage performing, but we made them pop. London made their face look like they said, I got to go out and get whatever he's using on that person. Or Leslie is working behind the scenes and has hired some artists like she did when I was in Philly for the DNC to sing with, what was my girl name? Stacey Francis. And, to work behind the scenes, but they're focusing on Stacey, but it's us singing the oohs and the ahs and the doo-wop pops behind that are making this thing pop. So how important is what actually happens behind the scenes?
The stage doesn't shine without the lighting, without the backdrop. The artist that has a hit song with background vocalists on it is just an artist without their background vocalists to complete their song. So what happens behind the scenes is extremely important to the finished product. To me, it's the foundation. It's what everything stands on. It nothing can work without the foundation.
I love it.
Nothing. She basically answered for both of us, because if I don't touch that face and you think you're going on the stage and you think you're gonna kill it, yeah, you're gonna kill it, all right. You gonna
kill him dead.
Whether it be a stage, whether it be TV, whether it be, I take pride in each woman or man that I've done male grooming or makeup for, they are a representation of me. So I dare not let you go out looking just any old type of way. You're gonna put your best foot forward when you step out, and it doesn't stop at makeup, wardrobe, nails, hair. Like, oh, you're not wearing that. Oh no, not that. You want to wear that hairstyle? That's not gonna work.
Let me tell you a little funny little thing. Calvin, you were at this live recording in Baltimore, and there was an artist who came out to sing. To this day, people still talk about her elbows being ashy.
Yeah, because you know why? The focus, because they didn't see, it's the detail. So you can have a heavenly voice, but if you got on the wrong shoe, guess what I'm focusing on? Why her shoes look like that?
Your elbows.
I don't hear the voice no more.
Your stockings, they're just the wrong color. Black stockings, white shoes.
Okay.
that little piece of hair that just
it won't go down. Look, but it's the truth.
I'm sorry. I see you, Ms. Backus. Here we come. How do you deal with folks who are always trying to get a deal and not pay full price for your services?
Oh, me. Let me answer. I got this.
No.
No.
Oh, hey, I was calling and I was wondering, oh, well, what's your rate? Oh, my rate is this. Oh, well, I would hang up.
I'm not available.
What happened?
Yeah.
I 20 years is not just because I didn't have anything better to do. I have practiced my craft. I'm self-taught, but I practice it. I make sure that it's the best. I make sure that your makeup is on so fine that they don't know if it's a filter or not. And it's not. But just so that, for that purpose. But like, you gotta come. With me, you gotta pay to play. If you ain't paying, we ain't playing.
So I will say I've had to learn to grow into that, because coming from the church world and the gospel world, you do a lot of favors. You tell people you got to pay your dues and you got to do that. And I've learned.
Oh, we only got this budget because we done paid everybody else.
Yeah, I've learned the importance of some things. Exposure can give you more than what a paycheck will. I know how to gauge those, know, but I had to just reprogram myself. And then now it's to the point, but now it's really to the point where I don't get calls because I can't afford you. And I'm like, okay, well, let me know when your project comes out. I'll support. I mean, okay. It's a thing.
But you know what, Leslie, off of that though, what's meant for you is what's meant for you. And if they, when people can't walk into Chanel and ask them for a Chanel bag and think that they're just going to get it because they look fly, you got to have that coin. Mm-hmm. And that's, we have to set ourselves up. I'm not a Gap type of boy. So when you come to me, don't come with Gap prices. When you come to me, I want you to come just like you go in, Saint Laurent and all those places, because that's the caliber that I'm going to give you. Yeah. I am the Bentley of makeup. You know what I mean? I am the Rolls Royce of makeup. So that's what you got to pay me.
No, let me save my coins so I can be beat by London.
Look, I come to the 215.
The Bentley, I love it.
The Bentley, look.
So listen, how did you? Where am I at? How did you? Oh, y'all threw me off. I love it.
This is fun.
What was the moment you knew you were called to be an entrepreneur? So we're working these jobs. However, somehow going up in church and being a part of projects and being in the world and doing different things like that. What was the moment for you, Leslie, when you just knew I need to start my own thing? Or what was the moment for you, London, when you said, well, you elaborate more on yours, London, because you said you were in styling and then you crossed over to do something even greater. So what was the moment for you when you said, you know what, this is what I'm supposed to be doing? Seriously.
Well, for me, it was more so, I've always been a creative. I've always had the heart of creativity. When I would do temp jobs back when I was in New York, shout out to Brooklyn, that's where I'm from. But and I would be on the temp jobs working for example, I worked at Mac, but Mac corporate, and I just couldn't do it. I couldn't sit in the office from 9 to 5. I'm not a 9 to 5 boy. I get antsy. I get distracted. I can't focus. So I knew that I didn't want to do this Monday through Friday. I knew that I would rather work for myself, get out of bed when I feel the need to or when I have to, and then go back with my regular schedule. You know what I mean? So it was way back early on when I stopped working for Nordstrom's. I stopped working for, like I said, Mac corporate, and I just was like, I can't. So I found ways to suffice to make money, and whether it was working in a hair salon, whether I was assisting, but yeah, it was early back then.
Let's jump in here.
I'm still learning this because I'm such a 9 to 5 girl. But the first time it happened to me, I was coming out of or going into decades in HR, and 2 days before I had my first I Breathe Melody event, I got fired. And I was tired. I mean, I was really tired of this place. It was a very toxic work environment, but I was making great money and able to pay my bills, and my bosses knew what I did, so they let me go whenever I could. But it was so frustrating, and I got fired 2 days before my event. Got the flu. Was at my first event with the flu, and it was like, okay, so what now? And that happened in April of that year, April or May. By December, I was touring Italy. Next April, I was in Japan.
See, so it was supposed to happen.
This stuff is strategic. Like, this stuff is supposed to happen, and we don't even. God got to get me out of this so I can get uncomfortable.
But look, that's the thing. Sometimes I just was talking to a friend about this, just saying a lot of times we get so complacent in where we are at, and we know and we hear God clear as day telling us it's time to go. It's time to go, and we will not move. Stubborn. No, I'm not. And he said, you know what? All right, so I'm gonna just pull the bottom from up under you, and then we're gonna see what you're gonna do. So, you may be looking at it as, you know what? Well, I lost my job. I ain't got no benefits. And he's saying, but this door over here to the left is much bigger than the door that you just came out of.
Yes.
But we so gun hold.
Yes. That's right, Mom. Or the steps, Mom.
That's
right.
My mama. Hey, Mom.
I know. That's what I said. That's right, Mom. I love it. I know who your mom is. Okay. So I'm gonna go here. So tell us, none that you started already, and let's kind of hit on it too. But tell us about some of the clients you've worked with during your tenure of being a creative. But who are some of the people that you've been fortunate enough and blessed to be to collaborate with, to work with, to tell what to do, to tell no to say this really ain't gonna work, but let me finagle and do some other stuff to make it look better. So jump in there for me.
I had the opportunity of working with Mariah Carey. I've had the opportunity. I worked for TD Jakes. I worked for Steve Harvey. I worked for a lot of different people. When I really sit back and look at it, I've been blessed to work with many different people. Kelly Price, like I said, Layla, which I still work for right now. Judge Maybelline. It's just so sometimes. When people normally ask me that question, I draw a blank, and it's not because I don't want to say the names, but I don't know. It just goes out the window, and I start thinking like, oh, who did I work with? But yeah, Lisa Ray. So it's been a lot of different people.
Chris said Cardi B.
Cardi B. Yeah, I did. Cardi B.
Yes.
Yeah, thanks, Chris.
It's crazy how we're just doing what we're supposed to do, and we end up working with these people. Leslie, jump in here.
So I can give you my bells and whistles, so to speak, because it's been so many. But like I said, Jonathan in several capacities, and I've enjoyed that because we're family. We fight. I've been fired twice. I mean, because. Yeah, I've been fired twice, but it's no love. It's no love lost, that kind of thing. I've had the opportunity to be part of Tasha Cobb's Grace record, which still honors me twice a year. Thank you. In that regard, it afforded me Grammy recognition, which I'm thankful forever for that. David Frazier, who is a good friend and one of gospel music's greatest songwriters, who was really the driving force when I started my company to be a vocal contractor. He's the one that mentioned the word to me. I'd never heard of it before. And he said, well, I'm coming to DC, just pull some singers together. I don't know what to do, just figure it out. So I figured it out.
So that leads me to my next question. I'm gonna jump in since you're going there. Has there ever been a time when you thought you were just there for work and one of your clients poured into you and gave you an aha moment? Like, I'm just here to work. What's like on Players? I'm just here to dance, and that's it. I'm just here to work. I'm just here to work, and that's it. And your client got you all the way together, and you probably in the corner snotting and crying because they didn't know you needed to hear what they said to you in that moment, and you had an aha moment.
So I do. I currently am on the administrative team for Charles Perry, if you've heard of him. He is from New York, but a megastar really within his own right. He's a great vocalist, and he has a movement that he's taken across the country. And I met him at a time where I was feeling depressed and I didn't want to sing anymore. And came across him on social media, saw him singing with a group of singers in McDonald's somewhere. Like, who is this guy? And I reached out to him. Yeah, I reached out to him, and what impressed me, he called me 9:00 on a Saturday morning.
That sounds about right.
And he talked to me for about 30 minutes. Didn't really ask any probing questions, just, what are you doing with your gift and, all that. He said, well, this is what it costs to come to my class. So if you want to come, just let me know. I spent my money. So just know if I ask people to spend money, it's because I do it too. And I spent money and I took the bus to New York City. And that day, he literally revived my musical soul. And he did not know me. We never, ever met. Vocally, he pulled things out of me that I did not think was there. And then he kept saying, whose bag is this? I had some backpack with all these studs on it. And he said, I just see money. I just see money, 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 money. And then he just started speaking to me. walk down my street. He does not know me, but that day he revived me. And since kept going back, he just knew it was something in me that I had to be a part of his team. And that was what, 3 or 4 years ago. And
Wow.
I ride for
I
Charles
love
Perry
Charlie.
and all the
Oh yeah.
madness that is him. Okay.
Oh yeah.
But he
All the
keeps
You
me
gotta
madness.
love him.
around
You gotta love him.
because I say no. He's like, don't ask me, go ask Leslie. Yeah, because I say no. But yeah, that's one aha moment I had.
I
We love
love
Charlie.
it.
I haven't really had that aha moment. Um, but when it happens, I will update you on that. But I'm usually the one giving the aha moments. In a
Okay,
sense.
so let's flip it. You thought you were at work and you ended up pouring
I,
into your client.
the spirit of discernment is very heavy on me. So I just, I try to be in tune again with my relationship with God. And when He say speak, I just
Be
speak.
obedient.
I don't try to be all deep or whatever, but I say what needs to be said, and I keep it moving. When He lays people's names on my heart, I will send out a text. I will send out whatever He tells me to do, because I just believe in nothing being a happenstance. Is that correct?
Mhm.
Everything happens for a reason, basically.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I try to emphasize that to the people that I'm around to a lot of times. Whenever you feel that inclination, or whenever you have somebody in your heart that you think about, reach out. Send that message, send that text, send that word of encouragement. A lot of times we get back into our feelings or how we feel, and yep, I did. That's my sister Victoria. But you just have to be able to hear, and you have to be in tune, and not always think about self. Because a lot of times you can get out of the situation that you're in by helping someone else or by encouraging someone else. And a lot of times we go through the same situations, but because we don't talk about it or because we don't discuss it, we'll never know. So.
Yeah. And it's important, like you said, to be in tune, because you never know what weight
Got
someone
to.
may be carrying. And I think I'm here to work, but I'm actually ministering. I'm ministering through the beat of your all this, or I'm ministering through singing. I'm thinking I'm here for an assignment. There's something greater underneath what I'm actually here to do, which is to just be
Right.
obedient and just pour in to you, or have them pour into us, or whatever. So I love how you said that. What
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I was going to say a lot of things can't happen unless Leslie is in place, or she is in that at that time, at that particular moment. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
You don't meet people until you are at the right place at the right time. Again, because things happen the way that they are supposed to happen. That's why we pray the prayer of dangers seen and unseen, because we don't know what we may have missed. You know what I mean? You ran back to go get that water, and you upset that you ran back to get the water, but you may have just missed an accident. You know what I mean? That God intended on you missing. But so we just have to gotta be in tune. I mean, you got to be in tune.
You gotta, and you better. Gotta, and you better.
You gotta, and you better. Hello.
I'm putting on a shirt. # gotta, and you better. So listen, things were going great. About a year ago, the world shut down, and we had to. That's right, Tasha. Right place, right time. The year ago, things happened. The world shut down. How has life changed for you professionally since the pandemic? So your creatives are always on the go, and we're going catching flights or catching trains here to there. How have things changed for you since the pandemic hit, and are things changing to kind of go back to some sense of normalcy for you, since we're kind of getting over the biggest hump of this, hopefully and prayerfully?
Initially, I missed the tour that I normally go on in December, which was heartbreaking to me, because now I can get on a plane without a seat extension and I can't fly anywhere. Right? So I'm like, okay, so much for that. But what I can say is that it gave me the opportunity to revisit something that I had walked away from, and that was church.
Mhm.
I have a pastor who I grew up in church with who asked me to come to help kind of shape the sound of his music ministry because now they're going live and they're streaming. So they want their output to be good. And it's like,
Right.
you're a professional. I know you can help us get it done. So it helped me in that way. But it also connected me with new associates and colleagues in the
Mhm.
virtual space. And
Oh
I've been
yeah.
traveling to different places. I've been to California finally for the first time, and I want to move. I'm actually going somewhere this weekend.
Come on,
Um,
come on out here, come on out here.
and it's like, so it slowed down,
Mhm.
but then when I was ready, picked up. Clubhouse has been a fantastic blessing to me. Now I only
Mm,
go in there to work, which
mm.
is great. I've made some great connections with other
I gotta get on
people and getting
Clubhouse.
Me
information.
too, because
You
I
know,
refuse.
I gotta get
just
on Clubhouse.
if you
Me too.
know, once I realized what it was for, that's what I used it for. I will say in the beginning when it opened up, it just seemed like I had 3 days I was in Clubhouse with no sleep. Like the first 3 days, it was just crazy. And then I just had to put my phone down, like I can't do this. So now I really only go in there when I have an assignment to do. But that's because
Gotcha.
I connected with these wonder twins from Ohio who are multimillionaires, and
Mm,
they are production and media gurus. Like I had a rehearsal with them before I came in here tonight. So I'm being part of first time historical projects in Clubhouse, such as The Wiz. And now we're getting ready to do The Princess and the Frog. And I had a mentee who was in
Oh.
Dream Girl. So it's like, you know, it slowed, but then when it made that sharp right, zoom, we just took off. And we are
Phew.
flying into 2022, you
that's
know?
what's up.
I
Yeah, it's
Awesome.
been
love
great.
it. I love
For
it.
me, it's been picking up back up. It's been picking back up when it happened. Of course, I mean there was
Cali
nothing
was shut
coming in.
down, down.
I mean, we were on lockdown longer than everybody else, so it just was like, um, what's going on here? And I touch people's faces, so I that really was just like, so there was a while of again sitting and
Hmm.
waking up and coming out of the bedroom just to sit on the living room couch and say, well, will we get out of lockdown today? Or maybe I'll have a client today, or, but then you still want to be safe and,
Hmm.
all the closeness of everything. And, people didn't really have anything going on, until the Zoom meeting started picking up. And I have a client who is the head of diversity and inclusion at Amazon, who I see, generally monthly, but still, even her meetings weren't picking up as vastly as I was expecting it to. And it
Hmm.
just was a moment of silence. Did my little side hustles. I was making dinner plates. I love to cook as well, cook very well. So I was doing that and, just trying to think of other ways that I can be efficient and make use and not be idle. Because what they say about an idle mind, and
The devil's
all
workshop.
right, all while trying to be encouraging to myself. Because again, there were moments of depression where I felt like, well, dang, what's going on? Like, if we never go back to any sense of normalcy, what's going to happen with me? Does this
Hmm.
change my career path? I don't want to go and get a regular job. Again, I'm not a regular boy, so I love doing what I love to do. When I wake up every morning and I have a client or I have to be on set for 18 hours or 16 hours, it doesn't feel like work to me. So, shifting
It's
from
genuine
that,
love.
yeah,
It's a genuine love. It's a
yeah,
genuine love
well,
of I don't even feel like I'm at work. I'm just doing what I
no,
love.
right.
And which is It's
So
crazy.
if I'm forced to do something else, it's just like I don't want to do this. I don't want to do this at all.
It's like you
But
throw a tantrum growing up. I don't want to do that. I don't got
right.
time for that. So
But it's
so
since
go ahead, Adrian. Go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say it since has picked up though, and we're grateful for that. So
Because y'all finally kind of hit the go button a little bit, right? In Cali.
yeah, we hit the go. We're in the yellow tier now, so that means actually, we're doing actually very well over here. So you come on over here, Leslie. You let me know when you get here, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna be a part of the welcoming team to welcome you in. I got you.
I'm actually coming back next weekend, but I'm going to Fresno. But
Okay.
I plan to be back to LA like in July, somewhere around
That's
there.
fine.
But I'm definitely
you stuck with me now, so I'll make sure I get your information.
I already see it.
I already followed you on Instagram, so we can hook up. Yes.
Look, I'm right behind you.
And that's what it's about. It's just so. This is why I love doing these type of things. Just connecting to people is just.
Look, I'm gone now.
Look. So listen. So I gotta close the show out this way because I always do it. What's next for you? What's coming down the pipeline for I Breathe Melody? What's coming down the pipeline for London Jewels? What are we working on? What's coming? What can we be looking out for? Are you doing any virtual seminar sessions? Or are you coming to this area or that area? Let us know.
Well, I just completed a lecture series in April where it was and it's crazy because In Session is my brand that I'm trademarking. It's just a creative, a professional development environment for creatives, and it's just like day workshops. I've been doing them for the last 5 years, and people ask me, when are you going to do it? When are you going to do it? So this time I put it in the virtual space, and it was 3 weeks. I had branding, relational currency, amplifying your brand, and protecting your intellectual property. So to me, those are the building blocks, So I'm crafting lecture series like that. I am publicly going to announce, and I can do that here on your show.
What? Hot off the press.
The Breathe Community Mentoring Program. For the last year, I have taken 5 creatives, and they've spent 1 year with me. They don't want to leave, but they have to graduate because I have more people to bring in, and it will be a revolving community. But I call it community because we're going to work together. We're going to learn together. We're going to grow together. They've had songwriting sessions with each other. If someone is sick, we pray. We tangibly support them. That's what's missing from the creative environment is the sense of community. So that's being announced publicly.
I love it.
And I'm kind of trying to take my show on the road. LA will be a place that I kind of see how I can help.
Oh yeah, they need some help.
Creatives.
You took the words out of my mouth.
They need a whole bunch of help.
But we are working. We are moving. Yes.
I love it. Congratulations.
Thank
you. As for me, I just stay tuned. I have some product things that I'm going to be working on, makeup wise, lashes and lipsticks and things of that nature. Also, I think the people want to smell like what I smell like. So probably a cologne and a perfume line as well. And then last but not least, I definitely am coming out with an underwear and swimwear line. So just be on the lookout for that. Yeah, Barbara and Shirley, but that's a whole other story behind that story. But yes, and just stay tuned. I mean, support, in whatever way you can, and I tell people we can all support one another just by, clicking a share or, a repost. It's not always about finances and, paying for services. But, that one little thing, even the support of my friends on here, like Chris, Victoria, like that is support to me. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they're taking time out of their schedule to just come and be a part. You know, so that's it.
Yeah.
That's it. You know, and just
now, go ahead.
The lookout for the new show, like I said, with MC Light called Partners in Rhyme on the All Black Network. So that'll definitely be out in November.
I love it. I love it. Now, y'all know y'all can't tell them what you got coming out without telling them how to follow you or keep up with you. So what's your websites and stuff? Because somebody said, let us know about any
Mine's
merchandise.
down. My website is under construction right now, so God bless. But you can find me at London Jewels, at London Jewels. It's Londy. Well, yep. There you go. And on Facebook, I'm Adrian Attacco, you know, which I don't really post too much on there. But yeah, those 2 pages is where you can find me.
Okay. My Instagram actually has underscores in it. So it's I underscore breathe underscore melody. And I also have my website is up, www.ibreathemelody.com. And it's just basic information, but you have a way to contact me and reach out to me for vocal performance coaching, because I am a vocal performance coach. I am a professional background vocalist. I am a mentor, and I am soon to be a certified life coach.
Come on, life coach. Victoria, you're right. We can find y'all where the money resides. Victoria, I need to meet Victoria because she done closed my whole show tonight.
She repping the ATL.
She repping the A, and the A don't play with where the money resides. I love it.
Absolutely.
Listen. So Leslie and Adrian, thank you both so much for joining me tonight for tonight's kickoff episode of season 2 of Dialogues with Doc, Creators Behind the Scenes. This is a topic I've been going back and forth with for the longest. So thank you both for helping me bring it to life. I hope and pray that something was shared tonight by my awesome and amazing guests that you can take to heart, that you can feed off of, that you can glean from, and that you can push us a little bit further out there if you're on the creative side. I do want to close a different way tonight. I just want to close out with each of them sharing something that may be a creative watching tonight or in the future, who may be at their wits' end. Just what are some words of encouragement or inspiration you may be able to share with them to just keep pushing and not give up and to just stay inspired and stay fired up. So I'll start with Leslie and let her jump in here first, ladies first, and then London close us out, okay?
There's no one more important than yourself. Take the time to build yourself, to invest in yourself before you freely give to others. Make sure that your cup is full. Give out of your saucer, the overflow, the part that flows over. Be whole. Be true to yourself. As my mentor says, show up as your authentic self. And just trust the God who gave you the gift in the first place.
I love it.
And to add to that,
that's salsa to mess me up, though.
Yeah. To add to that, I'm just going to leave you with this, Jeremiah 29:11. When you have time, look it up. But that's the scripture that I go by. And it's so true, for I know the thoughts that I think of you. So, but yeah, definitely hold on to that and definitely push yourself. Like Leslie said, you have to push yourself and think about yourself first before you can think about anybody else. So
I love it. Thank y'all both so much. Hold on tight. Don't log off. This has been this week's edition of Dialogues with Doc. I will see you guys again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. for another amazing and awesome episode with another fresh and amazing guest. I'm so glad to be back, to get this content out, to have my amazing guests. And I will see you all on next Wednesday.